if we want to, but if we're enabling their behavior, what are we? If we're sitting back, not saying anything, not doing anything, not making any type of fucking change, what are we? So, I don't know why I keep trying to unlock your phone with my fucking fingerprint. I just be sitting up here like, why is this not working? All right, so now I'm going to play y'all. Now I'm going to play y'all the audio from the Navy investigator, from the Navy IG investigator. So here you go.
Hello. Oh, yes, right. Yes, it's your first left message with the Naval Inspector General.
Yes, sir.
So you received your call, like I said, from the Naval Inspector General.
What's your name?
Yeah, I give you.
Why?
Anonymous nature. My boss does not like for us to give our name away, just in case we work with anyone that's in the Navy. So,
well, I'm not in the Navy, so.
Okay. Well, if I investigate anyone that's in the Navy, because that's who we tend to investigate mainly, and I work with that person, they could reprise against me if they didn't like what happened. So if you do not feel comfortable.
So what is your position exactly?
As an investigator. I'm an investigator with the Naval Inspector General.
Okay.
Are you calling about someone in the Navy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, do you feel comfortable discussing anything with me?
Sure. Everything is being recorded anyway.
Okay. All right. So then, what state are you in?
North Carolina.
Okay. And they have laws that...
Here's the thing. This is what I mean. I asked like 15 minutes ago for us to get up to 1,000 shares, and we were on 604 then. We're at 612 now. What are we doing? Acting or just talking? Are we putting action behind our words, or are we just talking? I'm not here to entertain y'all. Like, I'm really here to get a message out. There shouldn't even be a set goal. Like, this should just be sharing. Like, anyway, let's go back to the audio.
That does it say that you can record me with my knowledge?
It says I can record without your knowledge in the state of North Carolina. It's a one-party consent state.
Okay. All right. So,
and to be honest with you, I wouldn't care. You can decline to talk to me if you want to, but I don't care what the law is. I'm recording every bit of this.
Okay. Well,
so, you can check the law if you want to, but it is a one-party state.
Okay. All right. Well, my job, I can't decline talking to you. You would have to decline talking to me.
Okay.
So that's why I asked.
I only said that because NCIS declined to take my report because I was recording.
Okay. Yeah, NCIS, that's a different ball of wax. Much different organization. They still are within the Navy. They're still connected because they investigate the Navy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Any members that are associated with the Navy. But yeah, they have a different, protocol. Now, as for you, do you mind telling me what's going on, what you experienced, what happened, what made you call us?
Sure. Well, So, back in October of 2021, I was sexually assaulted by an active duty service member and his civilian accomplice.
Okay.
And they did not physically sexually harass me because I didn't stick around to wait for it to happen. I got out of the situation, and I waited till I got back to my state of North Carolina and confronted both of them about what they had done. The civilian basically was like, I don't care how you look at it. I don't feel like what I did was sexual assault. The other person apologized. And at that moment, I really wasn't calling it sexual assault. I mean, I just was like, y'all like truly violated my personal boundaries, like in a sexual manner, of course, but I was trying to be understanding of him being a young service member and maybe like playing too much with somebody he had just met. So I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. He apologized, so I felt like, he was taking accountability for his actions. But I'm an activist, so I spoke about my experience on social media.
Okay.
So he took it upon himself to basically claim that I was lying on him. So for the past year, I've just been collecting evidence, recording phone calls of people that, heard him admit to what he did to me. They were on that phone call. It was a 4-way phone call with that service member. So they indeed heard him admit to what he did to me. That is recorded. There are other people involved, even other veterans involved that were aware of the situation, and they're also being recorded, corroborating my account. But this person is also very popular on TikTok. They have over 1 million followers. So for the past year almost, his followers have been harassing me, re-victimizing me over and over again, saying that what he did was not even that big of a deal. He didn't get to finish, basically, so I can't call it sexual assault because he didn't actually get to do what he set out to do. Or that's for people that believe that something happened. The others believe nothing happened. The others believe that, what did happen was not that big of a deal anyway. So I've had people calling my phone. They've doxed what they thought was my present address, threatening to come out and kill me and do all of this and do all of that. So at one point...
Now, what's their TikTok name?
I Speak 1906.
I Speak like the letter I?
Uh-huh.
I Speak?
Yes.
One speak or two speaks? Like S, is there an S at the end or no?
No, it's just I Speak 1906.
Okay. All right. Go ahead now. I'm sorry.
So, at one point, he took it to his social media to claim that a supporter of mine reported my incident to his chain of command, and that his chain of command, NCIS and JAG, cleared him of all allegations. He also claimed that he had 4 other allegations of similar circumstances of a sexual nature, and that his chain of command had cleared him of all 5 of these allegations. So I called Sapper to see if there was any way I could find out if an investigation had been done. And if it had been done, how did they close a case without contacting the victim? Well, everyone I called, which this is actually... I think this may be the second time I've spoken to IG, but I know I spoke to, what is it? CNIC. And
you spoke to someone from CNIC?
Yes, and they looked up the database. They looked in the database to see if there was ever a case even open. They couldn't find an open case. They couldn't find a closed case. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself because when I contacted Sapper, Sapper relayed my information to NCIS, right?
Okay.
But the very first call that I got from NCIS, again, all of this has been recorded. The very first call that I got from NCIS, he refused to identify himself, but he wanted my address to send someone out to get my account of what happened. Well, I'm not trusting that. If you refuse to tell me who you are, and you will not prove that you are an official NCIS agent, I'm not giving you my address. So I ended up calling NCIS in Hawaii to try to figure out who that was. And I was told that it was Special Agent Dwayne Young, who is also the supervisor at NCIS Hawaii. So when I asked to speak to him, then they said he was busy. He couldn't come to the phone right now. So I tried again later on. It was always something. Either he wasn't there or he was busy. But he would answer the calls to that direct. I'm assuming it's a cell phone number he called me from the first time. Okay. So he'll answer if I call that number directly. But if I call the NCIS office and specifically ask for him, he will not come to the phone. Long story short, I contacted Camp Lejeune. Okay. Camp Lejeune says that you have to talk to Special Agent Young because that's who's handling your case. And weirdly, I didn't actually contact Camp Lejeune. A friend of mine did, but I guess with the details, they could tell it was my case. So the agent that spoke with my friend was like, I was sent to give you a message that your friend's case is being handled by Agent Young in Hawaii. Any further questions will have to be relayed to him. So again, I call Hawaii. Dwayne will not come to the phone. So I call NCIS Camp Lejeune back, and I sit on hold for 5 hours. And finally, someone calls while I'm on hold. They call from a totally different number and was like, do you want to meet with us? Yes or no? And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. So they were like, we'll send a text out for you to meet us at Fayetteville Police Department in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So I met with them where they refused to take my report because I would not turn off my recording device. So they left. And according to the woman that escorted me upstairs, I never even got to meet these people. According to her, they were in some back room waiting on me to put up my recording device before they even entered the room. So when I asked if it was illegal for me to record, they left without giving me an answer or anything. Like, they just left. Okay. So I contacted Hawaii again and asked for Agent Young again. And again, he would not come to the phone. So I said, I was like, well, maybe it'll be easier for me to come to Hawaii and come in office and fill out the report since he can never come to the phone. Mm-hmm. Well, next thing I know, I'm getting a barment letter from the base in Hawaii saying that I communicated a threat. But they're stating that I communicated this threat on June 13th, which is the day that Agent Young first contacted me. Now, when I told them that I was going to come to Hawaii, that was July 27th, I believe.
Okay. Now, who is the...
June 27th. I'm sorry, it was June 27th.
Who is the person that initially started this issue? Who is the person that sexually assaulted you?
Well, that night, it was him. The other person involved, so we're activists, and we had met up in Vegas the first time. And the woman that sexually assaulted me, I I kind of brushed it off as, she was just drunk, and she did not. I mean, she woke up crying the next morning saying that, she was drunk, and that wasn't an excuse, but, she was very sorry for what she'd done, and, I'm a forgiving person, so I forgave her.
Okay.
But when we met up in California for the last protest, this is when the military personnel was there. And we're all at the Airbnb. We're supposed to be, getting to know each other because we're all protesting together the next day. So we're all supposed to be getting to know each other. And I asked for him to show me where the restroom was because he was the only one in the house. And I wasn't staying at the Airbnb. That's where they were staying. So I didn't know anything about the house. So when I walked in, I was like, can you show me where the restroom is? I have to use the restroom, whatever. He shows me to the bathroom. And then next thing I know, I hear him coming down the hallway saying, do I need to come in there and straighten you out? And at first I was confused because I really didn't know who he was talking to. And he was like, what's that shit you're talking? And I'm really confused at this point because I haven't said anything. So at first I kind of was like, maybe it's not me he's talking to. But then as I hear him getting closer to the bathroom door, and I hear him saying, do I need to come in there and straighten you out? I just rushed off the toilet. I didn't wash my hands. I didn't change my sanitary stuff. I just pulled my pants up as quick as I could and ran to the door. But by the time I got to the door, he was like already opening the door and like going after my neck, like saying, what do I need to straighten you out? What is that shit you were talking, whatever. And I just kind of froze for a second, and then I ducked under him and tried to run out of the house. But the person I was with, which is also the person that had done what she'd done the previous month, I'm like, I'm ready to go. I don't want to be here any longer. Like, this is another one of those situations. Like, I'm not even going to wait to see how this one turns out. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Can we go? Can we leave? So we're trying to leave, but he's like stepping in front of us. Like, y'all can't go. You've been drinking. You're drunk. And I'm like, I'm not drunk. If I got to walk, I will walk, but I'm not staying here. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to leave. So the only way we were able to leave is he got distracted. Like, he got a phone call or something. So he walked back towards the bathroom. And in that moment, I looked at the other person and I was like, look, we got to go, like, right now. So we ran from the house. He runs behind us. He jumped on the hood of the car trying to, keep us from leaving. And then I guess, once he realized that we're not getting, I definitely wasn't getting out of the car. He walked around to the driver's side, and mind you, she was okay with the sexual banter that was going on that night. I was not. So for him to run up in the bathroom on me scared the shit out of me because I was not a part of what they had going on. I wanted no parts of it. But when he went around to the driver's side, she got out of the car to hug him, and he put her legs around his waist, and he dry humped her in the middle of the street. And then he came over to the passenger side to try to make me do the same thing. And so I literally had to fight them to keep the door closed so that they would not drag me out of the car. And then I guess at some point, I don't know if he realized that I was serious or he just got tired of trying, but he was like, all right, well, y'all just let me know when y'all make it to the hotel safely. And that's how that happened.
Okay. Now, what is his name?
Petty Officer Anthony Highland.
Anthony Highland?
Yes,
okay.
Hyland.
Okay. And do you know if he's still active?
Yes.
Service?
Yes, he's still bragging on social media that his command doesn't care about the allegations being made against him.
Okay.
And like I said, even his videos, I fortunately have a team of supporters that have been documenting everything from his supporters threatening me in my comment section. They've been recording his videos, his lives of him, talking about the situation, bragging about how his chain of command has his back and how, basically he can get away with anything because his chain of command thinks that it's all bullshit. And he has, according to him, 5 different allegations that his chain of command has brushed off that, Jag has cleared him of. So, and they're not all for me. I'm only one of the 5.
Okay. Well, we'll investigate that. We'll see. I don't see anything under your name in our system saying that you reported anything. So
no, I didn't. They didn't take my report, but according to NCIS, they have an active investigation. I have a letter from the Navy.
Okay.
That they sent to Congress here because I ended up going to Congress. And I will read you exactly what the Navy said, which is a crock of shit.
Did you do everything under your name? Did you file under your name or did you file?
No, I filed under my name.
Okay.
And here's the thing, though. I've not been able to file an actual report with NCIS because no one will take my report. But I filed a report with Congress because no one at NCIS would actually talk to me.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable providing me with your email?
Yeah. It's Alicia Wilson, ALESHIA.
HIA. All right.
Last name Wilson.
Okay.
The number 15 at gmail.com.
Gmail. All right. Let me see. Let me run your name once more, okay?
Okay.
Just to verify. Well, yeah, I don't see anything. So
what does that mean? So if you don't see anything, is there not an active investigation going on?
I'm not too sure. I just don't see one in our system. And some of the naval commands make reports through our system. So.
And your system is what again? I'm sorry?
That I cannot share with you.
So you're just an investigator?
Yes, I'm an investigator with the Naval Inspector General.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I want. So you work with the Navy Inspector General?
I am, yes, I'm an investigator with the Naval Inspector General.
Okay.
And we investigate matters of fraud, waste, and abuse from people that are either in the Navy or related to the Navy somehow.
Okay.
The only thing we don't investigate is civilians. Now, unless they work for the Navy, that's the only way, okay? Just to give you some clarity, to you guys. So
if a naval member or if a military member commits a crime with a civilian, how would you go about that type of...
We'll investigate it on our end, and then from there, we'll push it forward to the next set of people that need to do different sort of investigating. Maybe they need to, show up to the place physically. Maybe they need to make calls. Maybe they need to go into a different server, different systems that I can't access. Just because I can't access them, I don't have the access is for that. But they will do that investigation. So my job is to get the case started, get it going, get it pushed forward, identify if there's any wrongdoings, and then get that going to the next person who will investigate the wrongdoings. And that's all they do all day is just investigate even deeper. So they'll do a deeper dig where I do like an initial dig just to I try to get as much information as possible before I give it to the next person.
Right.
So they can dig deeper, but they're not looking for basic information,
Right.
Like the person's name and stuff like that. I don't want them to have to try to guess and figure that out. I want them to be able to know that information so they can go directly to that person if need be. Not directly to them, but however they go about doing their investigation. I want them to have the information to be able to at least take care of it and figure out what's going on so they can assist you in any form or fashion. So I have your email, so most likely what will happen is I'll draft this up, get this pushed forward, and then I'll email you in give it about a week or so. I'll email you and saying where it's going next. Okay. Now, what I have to do, I have to probably send this through NCIS and let them investigate it. Now, the difference is
well, according to them, that's the problem, though. NCIS keeps saying they are already investigating, but no one can find an actual case. No one has actually contacted me to get a report about anything. So it seems like to me, as long as they're saying they're investigating it, there's no I can't go anywhere else.
Yeah, well, I'll be the direct proxy through that.
Okay.
So there won't be someone just kind of waving you off. It'll be like we're going directly through them. My job is to let them see the case, and if they can take it, they'll take it and get started. The person that I work with that's a NCIS IG, she's solid. So I like working with her because she will take the case if she sees something going on and handle it. Now, from there, they'll go and start their part. So that's when they do kind of I don't know how they investigate, but they do their part, As for that, if they decline it and say, no, we can't investigate this, then I'll take it to the next person. And the next person will be someone a little closer in the Navy, and they'll be able to figure out what's going on. And this is where, sometimes I don't know how they're going to do their job, but I'm just guessing at this moment. Mm-hmm. They may bring up charges, they may not, who knows, So
I would think if this person is this bold to get up on social media and claim that the Navy has legally cleared him of 5 different allegations. I'm sorry?
I said, well, we'll see about that,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would think that they would have started taking this case seriously, because the whole reason I came to them is because of his claims. I never planned on reporting this guy. His claim was that NCIS investigated him and cleared him. So that's all that was all I was trying to figure out is when did the investigation happen and why was I not notified? And since then, I've been getting the bullshit from NCIS this whole entire time. So it just leads me to believe that they don't want to do their job because they dropped the ball from the beginning in the first place.
And you said the person that, quote unquote, initially started the investigation, his name is Dwayne Young?
Yes. Okay. A supervisor at NCIS Honolulu.
Okay. So I'll also have my person check that out too, who this person is. So we just have to look at all the stuff that you provided so far, at least all the information, and get going from there.
And remember, all of this has been recorded, so if y'all need to collect these recordings, just let me know exactly what you need. I've recorded every single bit of this.
Okay. Now, if you speak to another investigator, you can always offer that info to them, and if they need it, they'll definitely
probably... Well, my thing is, I don't want to give it if it's not going to be used. So...
I hear you.
I don't want to waste my time. I already don't have any trust in the government, and I'm a veteran myself, so...
All right, I get it. Okay. Well, let me get working on this stuff, and just keep an eye out on your email for the next few days or so, next few weeks, and just see if you're being contacted from the IG, the Naval Inspector General, that is, or any other IGs, any other investigators from other branches, not branches of the military, but branches of different parts of the Navy.
Okay.
And if anything else happens, anything else comes up, if this person harasses you any further or does anything, feel free to give us a call, leave a message. You can leave it.
I'd be calling y'all every day because this is an everyday thing. Seriously, for 10 months now, it's been an everyday thing, nonstop, constantly, every day. So
I'll make note of that in my write up. that the person is harassing you on a consistent basis.
Yes, and has weaponized 1.5 million people to do the fucking same. Excuse my language, but it ain't been cool.
I'm sure it hasn't. I know it hasn't. It doesn't sound like it. You know, especially after what you went through, you don't deserve to be harassed. So,
I mean, I literally gave both of these people the opportunity to just be honest, and they really could have left me alone because I had no intentions on pursuing any law enforcement. But when you get to bragging on how the Navy is just clearing you left and right of all of these allegations, first it leads me to believe that you're a sexual predator. Like, any grace that I gave you as far as being a service member is done, because if you have that many different allegations against you, everybody ain't lying on you. Everybody's not lying. And secondly, I mean, it's very apparent in these videos that he is very sexually deviant. And for you to brag that the military is just brushing that off is not a good look for the Navy at all. Especially when women are dying left and right by hands of Navy service members due to domestic violence and sexual assault right now.
Yeah, no, it's a true fact. Yeah, things are happening, and I don't know if any of this stuff is true on his end. So that's why we're gonna do some digging, do some investigating, see if there was anything opened from the beginning.
Right,
and that can just all that takes is a few checks where. Parts of the civilian public would not know about, they would know.
And like I said, everyone that checked the systems for me before said they did not find anything open or closed. So you're not finding anything. I'm inclined to believe that he's been lying about it, and I would think that the Navy would want to do something, if not about my sexual assault, about that. Like,
I'm going to look and see what's going on.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you taking on my case, I guess, and trying to see where we can go and get this resolved.
Yeah, no, I want to make sure, I want to help you. And that's just to make sure that you're safe and all that stuff. Like, I want to verify all this information and make sure that he's not doing this to anybody else, any other civilians, any other shipmates, anything of that nature. So, yeah, it's my job. This is what I get paid to do. I get paid to help people all day, so I don't mind. I enjoy trying to figure out these things to keep them from happening.
Okay. Well, we'll see, because I'm going to tell you, like I told everybody else, I'm not stopping. This is, in my mind, I'm convinced this is a sexual predator that needs to be off the damn streets, out of the fucking military.
I hear you. Definitely. Yeah, it's so weird that, and I'll say this and then I'll let you go on about your day, that, there's a lot of these people that talk a good game, that say they're in for the community, they're doing stuff, they're doing things, and then they're really not.
Exactly. And I'm not one of those people.
They do the forced show,
Yeah.
Like, I'm just, you gonna see me.
It's ironic that he is exactly that. Like, he claims to be an activist. He claims to be about black liberation on TikTok. I am a black woman that you sexually assaulted and victimized and re-victimized and re-victimized over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You are not for black liberation. You are not for the betterment of society. You are not for the betterment of humanity.
No,
I refuse to be one of those ancestors that my descendants can't call on. So I refuse to sit here and not do shit about something like this. If you did this, if you were bold enough to do this to me, that means you've either done it to someone else or you're going to do it to someone else. And I'd be damned if I sit back and let that happen.
I hear you.
So I'm not stopping. I don't care how long we run around with this. I'm not stopping.
Okay. Well, I say keep going and keep trying to get it out there.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, and you have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
You too. All right. Just keep your ears open. And, take care of yourself. And I'll do my best over here to hold you down. All right.
Well, thank you.
You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
All right. So, I have a little faith in her. She seems to want to get to the bottom of this situation. She seems to want to take it seriously, but I know the government. And I know that when you are working for the government, what you want to do and what you're capable of doing is not the same a lot of the times. This is why I decided a long time ago that as much as I thought I wanted to be a politician, as much as I thought, being a lawyer might be a good idea, I learned very quickly that this government is not something I can conform to. I can't follow their rules. I can't play by their rules. I can't play this game with this government. I cannot do it. My moral compass will not allow me to do it, because I know that if I really need to fight for what's right, conforming to this government will not allow me to do that. So I have faith in her as far as what she wants to do. What is she capable of doing is the question. So, it I don't know how else to iterate or explain, or I don't know how else to say it to y'all. I will die fighting this fucking fight. I do not care. I have children. I have a daughter. And no matter what we want to tell ourselves, this world hits differently in every aspect of our identities, right? This is why these boxes exist. This world created these boxes. And unfortunately, these boxes are labeled differently and they're treated differently. And although a lot of the situations are the same, depending on your race, your gender, your sexuality, your religion, your atmosphere, your environment, depending on those things, often depend on how you get treated according to your labels. And the label of woman. The label of woman in this society, especially Black woman, that is a very, very hard label to live under in this society, especially when it comes to sexual deviancy, sexual assault, rape. Because like I said, this society doesn't even give a fuck when it's a white woman most of the time. Like I said, my son came to me the other day and he was talking about, you guys, I don't know if you guys watched the show The Boys, and he was talking to me about Homelander and Homelander's race and how, it kind of correlates to society with him being, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, the superior race. And so I asked my son, I said, think about it. When there's a big case that everybody's paying attention to on the news, when it's a woman, what color is her hair and eyes normally when we actually give a fuck? And he thought about it and he's like, blonde and blue-eyed. I was like, who does Hollywood label the most attractive people in Hollywood. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Standards of beauty all across America, all across the world. Blonde hair and blue-eyed. Because even in communities of color, especially in the Asian community, they really push that blonde hair, blue-eyed narrative, so much so that you have people of color bleaching their skin, their hair, and getting their eye colors changed so they can fit that standard of beauty, no matter their race. Because racism, as much as we try to separate ourselves from folks like Hitler, racism started in the white community. White people found a way to separate themselves when it was just them. They could have decided to get along. They could have decided not to take these minute, minuscule differences as far as hair color and eye color. They didn't have to differentiate human beings based on that. But they did. They did. And here we are today living in a world that is not much different than how Hitler saw it. But we try to fucking separate ourselves from his ideology. But in America, we don't give a fuck about you unless you're blonde-haired and blue-eyed. White, blonde-haired, and blue-eyed. So a lot of those brunette white women, America don't give a fuck about them. America don't give a fuck about them going missing. America don't give a fuck about them being raped and murdered and tortured. America does not give a fuck unless you're blonde-haired and blue-eyed. So the black woman and all of her dark skin, dark hair, dark eyes, radiantly beautiful brown skin, we don't give a fuck about her. We don't give a fuck about her. White women think they're overly sexualized. And they are. But baby, the sexual deviancy that happens to black women, and the majority of white women overlook it. The majority of white women don't even care. They don't care about each other. So of course they're not going to care about us. This society shits on black women the most, especially when it comes to sexual crimes. We're going to find a way to make it her fault. We're going to find a way to make her the angry black woman. We're going to find a way to make her the motherfucking, what do y'all call it? What the fuck do y'all call it? Let me see. I know the word I'm looking for. Just can't fucking. I can't think of the word right now, but playing victim. Y'all love to give us that label that we're playing victim. Right? Always somewhere, black women are always somewhere playing victim. Mad black woman. We are victims of a lot of shit in this country. We are victimized every single day in this country for just being us. For just being. And here we don't have the room We don't have the grace of living through that trauma, being affected by that trauma, being vulnerable, being in need of affection and attention and healing and loving and respect. We cry and we get rolled eyes. We get mad, we get rolled eyes. We get hurt, we get rolled eyes. We speak about it, we get rolled eyes. We scream about it, we get rolled eyes. And then when we can't heal because of all the rolled eyes, we get rolled eyes. Get over it. Let it go. You're not a victim. You're a survivor. You're a survivor. Our strength gets used against us because we've had to fight in this world so hard that we don't have time. We don't have time to wait for sympathy, to wait for compassion, to wait for empathy, to wait for somebody to fucking care. So we grind every fucking day, and then even that get used against us. You alive, ain't you? You woke up this morning, didn't you? You still got a job, don't you? You still got a roof over your head. Be grateful, be grateful, be grateful, be grateful, be grateful. The most victimized people on earth. How dare us force that narrative upon Black women? Be grateful. Be grateful for what? What has this world given Black women for us to be grateful for? If anybody should be grateful, it should be the world to us. Because through all of our pain, our trauma, what have we done? We've healed while being broken. We've built while being tore the fuck down. We've loved while not being loved. We've fed while being hungry. I know this for a fact. Because even though I've been hurt by Black women, I've been loved on by some of the most amazing Black women I've ever met. I've been protected by some of the most amazing Black women in this world. Nurtured, cared for. We all have. Y'all can sit here and tell yourselves this lie, but Black women give when they ain't got shit to fucking give. Pour from an empty cup. I don't even know where Black women get a cup from. Where do we even get the cup? Where does the fucking cup come from? Because we give, and we give, and we give, and we don't get back. So where the fuck is it coming from? Where the fuck is it coming from? If it's not our souls, if it's not our hearts, our connection to the earth, our connection to the ancestors, where the fuck are we getting it from? And this world don't give us shit but hurt, pain, ignorance, judgment. We can't do nothing in this world without being picked the fuck apart. It doesn't matter what we do. We can sit quietly and do absolutely the fuck nothing but breathe, and that will be picked the fuck apart. And yet here we are still giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. I am begging y'all to share this story. I am begging y'all to give a fuck about changing this world. It can happen, but we actually have to do it. What in the fuck? Why don't we get that part? Fuck what nobody else is doing. Fuck what anybody else is doing. Fuck what everybody else is doing. Do your part. If we all did that, we definitely meet up in the same places more often than not. We would definitely align more often than not if we were all putting in the effort to change this fucking society. But what do? We sit back and watch the world crumble around us like it's fucking entertainment. We don't give a shit. Not for real. We don't give a shit for real. It's been a war on black women the last 4 years, baby. Where you been before that? It's been a war on black women ever since them white men came across them fucking waters and created this fucking patriarchy. It's been a war on black and brown women ever since they found out that they could not control us the way they could control their own. When white men found out that there was no way they could domesticate us the way they had domesticated white women, they knew the only thing they could do was emasculate the black man. That's it. They knew they needed the black man and the brown man to help them uphold the patriarchy, or else it would not fucking work. It would not fucking work. The only way that shit would work is if they kept that shit across the water amongst their white people by itself. Because it would have never worked without the participation of our black and brown men over here. And the truth of the matter is black and brown men and women have dropped the ball so many times when it comes to fighting this war, because we keep leaving each other hanging. And not the motherfuckers that did this shit to us. Not the motherfuckers that separated us. The ones that caused the fucking turmoil. No. We can't hurt them. We can't hurt them, right? This is why we got so many cooning ass motherfuckers that want to stay stuck somewhere up a cracker's fucking ass. I don't give a fuck what you tell yourself. The majority of white people are racist as fucking hell. They can't help it. It's in their blood. It's in their fucking system. The only ones who aren't are the ones who actively fight that shit every fucking day. And it ain't many of them. It ain't many of them. They do not deny it exists. They acknowledge that they have to fight against it. They acknowledge that they have to check the fucking oppressor within and fight back actively. But the majority of white folks in the world do not understand the dynamics that their forefathers fucking created. They do not understand that this really is good and evil. It really is. It absolutely the fuck is. Everything that you think is a fucking fantasy, right? You think it's a fucking fantasy. Good and evil, right? It's not. It is not. It is fucking not. This world is a fucking spectrum. You can be as good as the best, or you can be as bad as the worst. Or you can be in between. All over that goddamn line. But if we're speaking as a whole, if we're speaking in general terms, the majority of white people are evil by nature and nurture. The majority of black people and brown people are not. You can argue with your racist, evil ass fucking ancestors. You watch these same movies we watch. You watch these accounts of white history, right? European history. How many wars were there? How brutal were those wars? What did they do to their prisoners? Chopped them up, ate them, drug them behind carriages, skinned them alive, burned them at the fucking stake, chopped off their heads. Inhumane type shit. They ironically came to America and made laws against, but who commits those crimes the most still to this fucking day? Huh? Still to this day, who commits those crimes the most? White men. The weakest motherfucking link on this goddamn planet. They are now reporting so. No, it's white men that commit those crimes the most. White women aren't far behind them. But white men got that number one spot when it comes to heinous crimes like that. Sexual deviancy, domestic violence, murder, rape, serial killing, familicide. That's mostly white men. White women come in a very close second, though. Very close second. And that's only common sense, because if your counterpart is the evil entity that's making the world go round, and you know that power directly trickles down to you, of course you're going to help him uphold it. Same thing with black and brown men. That connection to the patriarchy and the menticide that has been committed on black and brown men, the domestication, the emasculation of black and brown men, has them praising the fucking patriarchy like they are literally supposed to be controlling women. This is why black and brown men, especially black men, I'm going to speak more on black men for this part. This is why black men tend to get on this app every fucking single day and pick apart the black woman. He is only shucking and jiving for the patriarchal mindset. I guess. Thanks, babe. But that is his proximity to the power. That is his proximity to the power. Him upholding the patriarchy. Him treating the black woman like she is beneath him. Matter of fact, treating the black woman like she is beneath everybody. And for the life of me, I can't even understand how our men can be so distracted by an untruth so blatantly obvious. How in the fuck has the world convinced black women, or not even convinced black women, because you damn sure ain't convinced us of shit, but y'all some simps as far as the world goes. But how in the fuck do you convince the world that the black woman is anything other than a god when she is presented the way she is presented in any atmosphere she is presented in? How can you look at a black woman and think anything that you've learned in this world is real? Answer that. I'm gonna eat this sandwich real quick that my husband just made. I don't normally like turkey, but that's exactly why so many white women are lesbians. That's exactly why I'm encouraging white women to go bump coochies with other white women. White women have the potential to do so much greater if they put their fucking